My question is, who am I? So first thing that person need to ask to the self is, who am I? Everyone ask to yourself, who am I? And see what is the answer that you receive. If you want, you can share with that. Just take 10 seconds. Ask to yourself, who am I? Okay. Okay. So there's one reply, soul. Okay. First thing that comes in your mind, who am I? Okay. Kind-hearted soul. Okay. Soul. Okay. Okay. Healer, becoming weak person. Okay. Okay. So let me just go through that. Some people has written soul, some people have written kind-hearted soul, but soul is the common answer that I have received here. Hmm? I understand that you're a soul, but right now in the human form, are you only a soul? No. You are into a body, you have a mind, and in that mind, you have a mind, body, and in the body, you have a soul. So there is a combination of three things, that is mind, body, and soul. You cannot be one out of it when you're into the human form, when you're into the body. So when you take birth thinking that you'll be experiencing certain emotions onto the earth, and then you think about the emotions. So even if you're going through a betrayal, you're going through heartbreaks, you're going through weakness, you're going through helplessness, everything has been decided by your own self before taking birth. So now, if you have to feel heartbreak, or if you have to feel helpless, or maybe you have to feel betrayal, so can you do it to yourself in the human body? Hmm? You need somebody who would like to take you through the experiences. Right? Whenever you are in pain, or whenever you need somebody, or you need help, whom you will go to first? Someone you trust, or someone you can rely on to. Right? In the same way, yeah, it could be self also, self-talk. So what will happen in the soul form, when you need any of the emotion that you would like to experience, whether it is betrayal, whether it is heartbreak, I'm talking about negative emotions here, not the positive emotions. Hmm? So whenever you're going through any of the emotion and you would like to experience that onto the earth, the first thing is you will run to someone you trust, and you will request that soul to come onto the earth and become villain of your life. So any villain of your life here onto the earth in a human form is your best friend, your trustworthy person in a soul form. This is like a larger picture of the life. It's a mirror of your own self that is happening here. So why you have chosen certain emotion to go through, maybe you would like to choose. So there is no particular reason that you have chosen certain emotion to come down onto the earth and experience. But why there is a repetitive emotion, suppose you have come down onto the earth to experience, okay, I would like to experience what rejection is, then I would like to understand what love is after overcoming the rejection. So what you do, you will come down, you will go through the rejection, you're done with your experience, you take back, you understand what self-love is, but you're stuck in the loop into the body, because into the body you have a brain. You analyze, you think, you take it as, oh, this person has done so and so thing to me. I've cursed that person that, uske sath yahi hona chahiye, ya फिर certain thing will happen with this, that person, or I will make sure that certain thing will happen with the person. So what you're doing, when you're giving any negative, you know, any negative reaction to the experiences that you're going through, that creates the loop of life, another life, another life, another life, because it's like a never ending process. Once you have felt betrayal, you take another life, you betray that person, then that person does the same, unless one day you stop and say to yourself, who am I? Am I really meant for this? Am I really meant for going through only these emotions all the time? The answer will be obviously no. Understanding your soul is the basic key that you go through is your human body. And in this human body, you have mind where you can sit and you can understand, okay, this is what exactly I have come here for. So for if I give you a very natural example, you go into the school, and you see that, in the school, your teacher is being very strict to you, or if not school, also look at the parents. They are very strict. They make you understand so many things. But at the end of the day, you know that they are always in favor of you. Like they're always thinking good about you. So that trust is always there on the parents, because you have seen the parents since your birth and you know what kind of people they are. So this is how the people has to understand if they are going through. So when you hear about forgiveness, when you hear about let go, what it is all about understanding that why I have chosen this person for certain emotion. And when I have done with the emotion, the next step is, instead of feeling negative towards the person, feel a lot of gratitude and let go of that person from your life. When you let go of that person from your life, if it is possible, that is the point where you're actually, completing the circle of that emotion, and you're not going to repeat it again. So once you pass your basic standards, when you pass your basic academic, you're not repeating it again. Why? You're done with that. It's over. So in the same way, when you're done with this, you know, complete, complete process of experiencing something, and you understand it without blaming someone else and taking responsibility of what you're going through, that is where the end of certain emotion will happen in your life. Otherwise, you will keep on repeating it again and again and again, in the current life as well as into life in, in different lifetimes also. Hmm? Yeah, we have a question here.
I'll keep my identity hidden because it's a private question
Okay.
that I wish to ask.
Okay.
Uh, Amazing that today I've attended this and you are already by default talking about it, Doctor. Um, there is a trigger warning for everybody, domestic violence here. Okay. I want to
Okay.
know, how do I think differently from this? So I live with my parents. Older enough to live by myself, but I still live with them. My
Mm.
mother is narcissistic, and I've been having problems with her for years now.
Okay.
Especially when I have started putting my foot down. So she's always been like, she used to hit me as a child, right? Hit
Okay.
black and blue, not even normal hitting, because I used to,
Mm.
I was into bedwetting and stuff like that. But I don't know if that was a valid reason
Mm.
out of concern to hit a child black and blue. Every day when I used to go to
Mm.
school, I was hit like that. Same was my brother.
Okay.
He was
Mm.
तो चलो ठीक है मैं पढ़ने में ठीक नहीं थी. I used to flunk, but somehow I still managed passing without,
Mm.
literally wasting my any of my years. Okay, again I get that concern. If you tell me she hit me out of concern, I buy that. Chalo. But hitting is not allowed first. Second, my brother was also hit black and blue. I mean, both of us as children. Now I understand she's gone through a few traumas with because of joint family and all of that. But as children, if I really see, both of us were never protected, right? Today,
Mm.
he's on his own path. But he's more he's not working on his inner growth either. I
Mm.
am okay. And the
Mm.
more I have started working, the more it's coming out, you know what I mean? So
Mm.
every time, even at this age now, it'll be easy to say, hey, shut up, your parents are 75 and 68 and just let them be and all that. But that inner child in me, I always keep pointing out, no, you're wrong here, you're wrong here. here. And the minute I say that, the bully in her, who's been, wanting to make me shut up for so many years, she becomes violent even today. Okay, like there was an
Yes.
episode just 3 days ago when I said something, and very quietly I was with my, yes, there are times when I trigger them. So they are telling me that you trigger us, okay? You trigger all these bad behaviors in us, okay? All right. So if I am raising something, my only idea is to not make them feel bad, but my idea is to, make them show them the real picture, right? Somewhere I don't know why am I hoping that there will be a betterment here. I don't know why. Now,
Okay.
there was literally an episode where she's come with her Dundee to hit me, and I had to stop her and all that. And then now what she's done is she started ganging up. So, unfortunately, my brother also takes her side. Okay, because he's seen a
Mm.
father who's not there to support her and all that. And
Mm.
my father has always been a henpecked husband, and now he's totally surrendered. He's like
Mm.
in Vashikaran. He used to be a practical, logical guy who would understand before. But even now, so today, if I have to say, no, that was wrong, only one sentence, I know today आज झगड़ा trigger हो जाएगा पूरे दिन, and वो झगड़ा
Yeah.
कहाँ से कहाँ चला जाएगा.
So let me answer you with this. So you need to understand here about what is going on first thing. So when there is a domestic violence, I know it is very harsh to say here, but because we are into these healings, okay, so I need to be very practical here to make you understand what is going on, and nothing against anyone. Okay. So when you go through any kind of domestic violence, the first thing that there is a need of punishment in the person that is coming out of purely out of guilt. There is no other way when the person has to go through the domestic violence. So if the soul, so here you can use the word soul. So when the soul is holding lot of guilt, and guilt is always the reason towards the punishment. And when there is a need of punishment in a person, the person goes through the domestic violence. Here, the first thing is that. And second thing is that, when you're talking about your parents and your parents being, your mother being so violent, see, you will be only able to give what you receive. So your mother has received, she only know how to behave in a violent way because she has received violence in her childhood. So when person receives something, the person will be able to give only that thing that the person has received. So for an example, to make you very clear with this, if you go to a medical shop, you can expect what you're going to accept and what you're going to feel there. After going to a medical shop, you cannot say, okay, I came here and now you're supposed to give me maybe the cosmetic or maybe the footwear because I came to your shop. So if you go to a pharmacist, you accept there only and only medicines. So in the same way,
Doctor, can I add that I have tried to study that, and I have known her father obviously because he was my nanaji. He never used to hit females physically. He was bad to them, yes, because in their concept, women are shit, basically. That's how they were treated, and boys were higher souls. But my mom wasn't hit the way she has done. So there is some trauma, and I've tried to understand what is her trigger trauma, and it looks like everything went downhill the day she got married. And I tried to find out
so
because
here,
sometimes she also says, "मैं शादी के पहले ऐसी थी वैसे थी."
so the here point is, it doesn't see if you know that your Nana would have not hit her, that could not be the entire truth. You need to understand where she has gone through the beatings. So when the person receives the beating, then only the person can give the beatings. It is as simple as that, unless and until the person has any psychological disease that is, beyond a normal human mind. And second thing is that, when you're talking about her childhood, here the trigger point, so it is not you as a trigger point, it is all about she and her parents as a trigger point. So you need to clearly create the differentiation and bonding between you and her parents. So at the age of 75 here now, either they have to go through the healings and understand where is the boundary and let go of the previous traumas that she has gone through, or you as a person, as an individual, you need to create the boundaries. You need to stop mirroring what is getting triggered in her. So it is not out of something you do, it is you as a personality, something in her mind that is being always there. So whether you do the best out of you, they will get triggered because they are, you're being mirrored to her about certain traumas that is happening in the life or that has happened in the life. Understand where you need to create boundaries and go for strict and very huge boundaries here. So first let go of the guilt from you so that you will stop receiving the punishments. So whatever guilt you're holding, work on that, release it out, and you will see huge difference in your life. I'm not saying that there is a possibility that there will be difference in their life, but definitely there will be difference in your life, in your boundaries here.
What kind of guilt, doctor? I don't understand. What guilt am I carrying?
That you need to understand through the healings that what kind of guilt you must be carrying here, because
Okay.
you need to understand that, and it is not, see, when you're going through such a huge trauma of domestic violence, so it is not normally from only and only from the current life. It could be from the past lives as well. So you need to understand where the root life is and you have to release it out from there. Then you're going to see huge difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nana,
Yeah.
she has the next question.
Yeah.
Hi, ma'am. You've been mentioning about who am I?
Nana, a little louder.
Yeah, am I audible now?
Yeah, better.
Yeah, ma'am. You started with about going deep into who am I. So I
Yes.
have done this, and once so many identities have been, or so many layers have been peeled off, and later on, once I experienced a state where I don't know, I didn't feel any connection with myself, and I don't know about who am I. It was for a few seconds, but I felt a really disconnection. And that question, initially I do that questioning consciously, like asking myself, who am I? And getting the answers. But later on, maybe as a result of that in my meditation or sometime, I really felt a disconnection.
Okay.
So I don't know how to go from there.
So what disconnect do you feel? So when you're feeling the disconnection, what do you feel in that disconnection?
It's a complete emptiness. Nothingness.
Emptiness. Okay.
Yes.
So you feel disconnected with your body, you disconnected
Yes.
with your mind, or you're disconnected?
Everything. Nothing is there.
Okay. So in this disconnection, do you also feel lost? Do you have pattern of
Actually,
feeling lost?
hmm, actually, I was trying to figure out my inner child traumas. And once you mentioned that it has some connection with our purpose also, that inner child
Yes.
wound or that particular thing
Yes.
has some connection with our purpose also.
Yes.
So when I work on that part, it was a bit hard for me to completely let go of that inner child wounds from me. And uh, for a past few time, I had a really problem with um, staying with my emotion. I felt I was numb. So as a part of that, I say to myself that I talk to myself like I'm there for me. I'm there for me. So while doing that process, in between, I felt like when I say I am with you, I couldn't feel who that I is, and if
Yes.
first I should know who am I. Then only I can say that
Yes.
I am with you to myself.
Yes.
That was the
Yes.
moment.
Yes. So you were talking about the inner child wounds, and you were talking about I'm not able to overcome those wounds. And second thing, what you have told here, like I somehow feel that, there's some disconnect, there's huge emptiness here. And third point was, that when I feel that I'm with you, that who is that you? Who is with whom?
Exactly.
Okay, so all three incidents leads to the inner child trauma that you've gone through. So when there is a inner child wounds and the person is not able to overcome that wounds, what the child will do, the best thing the child will know is to fly. What the child will do, I cannot face this, I cannot fight this, I neither can, feel the trauma that I'm going through. It's better to fly. So when you fly out of your body, there is a disintegrant in the body. So you become two different personalities here. And when you're becoming two different personalities, the personality that you have left behind, that is growing with age now, the personality has a lot of emptiness because the major self has been lost somewhere into the wound. So now when you see there is an inner child wound, the first thing the child will feel, I have not been protected properly by the parents. So when you're not properly being protected by the parents, then the question mark will be, who is protecting whom? So first connection always child need to have is with the parents. You know, the first protection has to be from the parent. So when that connection is lost, there will be a lot of confusion here. But still what you can do, so when you're going and you're talking to your inner child here, who am I? That time you need to understand, I am for my own self. So go to that wounded inner child, say to that inner child, I am here for you. So the adult of today is being with that inner child who has been wounded. So you can behave like a friend or a parent here, or you can just go and just be the part of the inner child for a moment. And at that point, when the child is needed, so the wound, the child has gone through the pain, you need to help the inner child to overcome that. Then after overcoming, when you allow the inner child to integrate, that is the time you will stop feeling empty. So here connect is going to be with you and yourself. For what? For overcoming the wound. But sometimes what will happen, inner child will not be ready to come with you because they are not feeling connected with the parents. Why? That is the loyalty towards the parent. So it's better to go into the part, if inner child is not ready to come, make the inner child to go and connect with the parents first. Express yourself. Communication is the best key, whether it is with your own self or with the parents or with anyone around. Communication does not always has to be physical communication. You can also imagine the person and just talk. Release out what is there in your mind. If you don't release it out, you're suppressing it. And when you're suppressing it, you're losing the positive side of you, or you're losing the consciousness of your own self. And when you lose the consciousness, there will be a lot of emptiness. There will be huge self-betrayal. So the person is giving me pain. I don't want to experience the pain. I will flight. So I'm flying away from my body. There are two different betrayals. One betrayal is the person that has given to me, because of which I left my body. The consciousness has left the body. Second betrayal, I left my own self. So majorly the betrayal is coming from the outside, from the inside. So there is no space for the consciousness to come back here. Because what consciousness is feeling? You have betrayed me. So every time you go through the healing, you need to understand, or every time you're questioning to your own self, first you need to forgive yourself for betraying your own self, not standing for your own self there. So you need to make your inner child understand that I was not in that knowledgeable position, or maybe I was not into that power, or maybe I was not into the understanding to be there and to support you. But now I am into, I understand, I can hear you, I can protect you, I can be there for you. And slowly you need to integrate. So now whenever you're communicating with your own self, before asking who am I here, say, I am my own self. I am my own identity. And take back, make your inner child understand. Keep on saying to yourself, I hear myself. I see myself. I respect myself. Moreover, I value myself. When you keep on communicating with your own self in this way, that is the time your emptiness will start filling with love. And this love will be your power and your empowerment to collect everything back that belongs to you. Yeah. Okay. So next.
Yeah. Namita.
Okay.
Morning, Dr. Kirti. How are you?
Morning. I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
Good, good.
So,
So, if you can help us explain the larger picture, because, this process actually happens almost on a daily basis. Like, almost on a daily basis, there is a situation or there is a person who is like something that is not conducive to you, wherein you are betraying your own self or you feel betrayed by the outside, so
mm,
like what is the larger picture, like because I've taken so many healings and
mm.
still sometimes I feel triggered and all, so that's why I'm asking.
Okay. So here, let me first tell you that everything that is happening beyond a level is a repetitive thing. So it's like, you're seeing everything into the mirror. First image, you need to go to the first image, not into the repetitive image of the mirror here. So you have ever seen these two mirrors behind, and when you stand in between, you will only see yourself continuously. Everywhere you see your own self. So this is how it is. So if you want to go into the larger picture, you need to go to the root, the first image, the first impression of the betrayal here. Because we have started with the betrayal, so I'm telling the emotion of betrayal. But if any other emotion, you can go with that. So go to the first image, move that image out. Then you will see there's nothing in the mirror. So if you want to clear up a certain emotion that you doesn't want to feel into day-to-day life, or you feel that you have had it enough, now it's enough. Now I cannot go through that things again and again. So go to the first image, that is first inner child who has been disintegrated with you. Go there, heal that child, integrate that child, and slowly train your brain here, saying that, okay, I'm done, it's over. I'm done, it's over. Keep on repeating this thing with your own self. When you keep on repeating these things, you will see that your brain will start behaving into the similar manner how you're training it. So, first removing the inner child, second thing is removing the belief system towards it, and refilling with what is needed at this current moment. This is how you can overcome the repetitive things in your life that is no more needed, or that is no more serving you as if now, but it was needed when it happened for the first time. So go there, understand, release it out. Okay. Hmm.
Sure. So, is there any affirmation that we can keep telling ourselves? Like, I've heard so much about the Ho'oponopono prayer that, works very well in this case.
Mhm.
S-
So
mm,
the best affirmation for here is it's over, it ends now. Anything that you feel you doesn't want to feel, it's over, it ends now. So if I feel unloved, the need of unloved is over, it ends now. I choose to feel loved for myself, from everyone around. So first thing is it's over, it ends now. So when you say it's over, it ends now, what you're doing is you're breaking the contract of the emotion with this particular person and with the inner child too. So when you start doing this, it's like a vice versa thing. So when you start seeing this, slowly you will know which inner child is holding that, and you can integrate that inner child, or else you will stop creating that situation in your life. You have lived it for many years now, so it may take little time when you're doing the affirmation to break it completely. So once you break, you're done with that. So the affirmation is it's over, it ends now. If you want, you can write it down and
Yeah.
replace it with what is needed.
Mhm. So you said
Yes.
if it is being unloved, so you say that it's over, it's done now, and I replace it with love.
Not done, it ends now.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's over, it ends now. So suppose unloved feeling, so the need of unloved feeling is over. It's always your need. So the need of betrayal is over, it ends now. I choose trust and I trust myself. So in this way, you need to form a sentence with certain things. Hmm?
Okay.
Yeah.
I choose trust and
And I trust myself.
okay. Okay. So
Hmm.
I'm coming back to myself every time. Okay.
Yes. Yes. So you're
Mm-hmm.
going back to your original emotions now.
All right.
Experiences will be there, and you have done with your experience. So at the end of the day, you don't remember what you've read properly, but every time people will ask what was your percentage. So your percentage will be there here. You need to undo the things that is not needed now. So you're clearing up your space.
Mm-hmm. Clearing
Yes.
up all the garbage.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you so
you're
much.
welcome. You're welcome.
Okay. Last question for today. Can a soul contract be broken during inner child healing?
Okay. No. So the soul contract can never be broken during the inner child healing. So but the contract can be ended here. So if your soul is wanting to end certain contract, it is again pre-decided. So when you are pre-decided to end the contract, you have also decided how to end the contract. So either you will suddenly you will wake up and say, okay, this is more than enough. I'm not going through this and let me just move. Or else you will be needing the professional help. So it's again pre-decided. So soul contract can never be broken in between the process. But every time it is overdone. So if you have come down with to feel the emotion for one time, there is a possibility that you can repeat that emotion again and again in your life. But breaking the contract in between is not possible. Soul will know how to go through that. So suppose today you have healed yourself, but still there is something still remaining with some person, any karmic contract of the soul. You will see after certain years, again, suddenly something will happen. You will come across the person and again it will happen in your life. But this time it's going to be for short time. Why? Because you are overcoming it. So soul contract can only be overcome, that too with the choice of the soul if you're done with your learnings.
How
But
do
it
you
cannot be
decide that we are
broken.
done, doctor? Very quick question. I had asked that question. How do you decide if you're done with that lesson?
When you stop blaming and complaining about that, and you understand virtually, if you understand what you've learned out of that, and when you understand that I need to overcome this, it's over. That is the point that the soul contract has been over. So if you keep on blaming certain situation, or if you keep on thinking about it, that means you're not allowing it to go. It's like you keep on talking. You see, every time it happened, the person will say, okay, I'm leaving by. But at the point of the door, people will start talking again. It could be half an hour, 45 minutes also. But they're getting late. Right? So in the same way, when you're done with the soul contract, there will be a point that you will stop blaming towards it. And you will be ready to let go of certain things that has happened in your life. So when you start letting go, that is the point that it is over. But if you're not done with your learning, it will be hard for you to overcome the situation. So first thing, what we've started with is understand the larger picture. Stop blaming, stop criticizing, stop judging, not only others, but yourself as well. So when you stop doing that and you let go of the person completely from your space, and you take back your positive emotions towards it, that is the point you will understand that you're over or you're beyond it. You have learned your lesson. But if you're not able to do that, if you're stuck into that and you are not able to move and you're cribbing about it, that means your soul is wanting you to understand and overcome that. So there is a huge difference between experiencing the emotion, or when you're overdoing it, or when there's a time to overcome that.
Doctor, I have a question. I want to know that if I mean, I have kind of things hold up in myself. So what if I do not want to meet that soul ever in my next life or next situation? So is that possible?
See, this question, I don't think so that it is always possible. Why? Because see, we have done so many past lives. We are doing since 11 years now. As we have started the session with that, you always choose the best of you. So only your group of, there is always a group of soul. They are always together. So you choose one of them to come down onto the earth and play the villain of your life. So after going back again, your friend. So it is impossible to overcome certain soul ever in your life, first place. But after going back into the soul form, you can choose not to choose that person again to go through certain things, unless there is a karmic thing, or there is a curses, or there is any negativity, or any soul exchange of soul fragment between you both. Otherwise, you can choose not to choose the person again to come down onto the earth and go through the experience that has happened in your life with the person. And this will only happen you're completely done with that person. And the person stop affecting your mind, body, and soul. It's like complete emptiness between you both. Then only it is possible.
If the opposite person is still feeling, then it's not complete, right? It has to
No,
be
no.
two-sided.
No, it is not about two-sided. It is only and only about you. It is never two-sided. How you feel, that is your choice. And what the other person is feeling, it's the person choice. But you have to stop adding on to it, knowingly, unknowingly. That is your choice. And that is where you can completely disconnect from each other.
So doctor, what happens if I have completely forgiven a person, this person does not, I mean, I don't feel anything about that person, but what if the opposite person have still hold something against me?
So if the opposite person is still holding something against you and it is affecting you, that means you're not done completely. So whatever the person does, whether the person is holding the feeling or anything against you, and it doesn't matter in your life, in your mind, that is the time you're completely done. If you feel, or if you even think that, okay, what, even though I'm done, but the person is doing that to me, or maybe the person is holding on to it, that means still there is a connect. And when there is a connect, then only there will be a supply. So you have to completely disconnect. You have to completely cut the cords between you both. So still you're holding on to it. Go and cut the cords first.
Okay, thank you.
Definitely. You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Excuse me, hello ma'am.
Yes.
How can we cut these cords?
See, cutting the cords is like, first you need to locate where you have the cords are. It will be basically, it will, mostly it will be from the navel. Okay, the
Okay.
conscious cords are always from the navel. But some
Yes.
cords, they are unknown. Unknowingly, the person is, relying on you, or maybe the unknowingly the person is, behind you. So that cords could be on your back.
Okay.
So conscious cords are always in the front and basically near the navel. But they are unwanted cords that you may not know the person is sucking your energy, or person is, unknowingly getting attached to you. So that could be on the back. So whenever you see it, you need to understand where the cords are, whether it is, and sometimes it could be both, front and back. Okay. So just feel the person and see what is the connect. Like how you see the wiring from one side to other side. So you can see in the form of wiring also, and you can cut the cord in that way. Yes. So it's like, take the scissor, feel that you're taking the season, you're cutting it off, or you can feel that you're unplugging it. Okay, just plug it.
Just the imagination is enough, right?
Yes, because that imagination is the reality of the mind. Anything
Yeah.
that you imagine, do you ever imagine that you're falling into sickness? Or do you ever
Yes.
imagine that you're falling into troubles?
Yes.
But still it happens, because this is
Yes.
something that you've learned in your childhood, or maybe in your growing time. So in the same way, what you're doing this time, consciously you're saying something to your mind, and that is what will get recreated in your life. It's like rewriting certain things. Yeah. So when you imagine, so it's not about just imagining. When you imagine and you do it, you're giving a direct message to your mind, boss, I'm done. Okay. So slowly you will overcome those situations. So whenever you imagine anything, be very conscious, because you imagine, you're creating it. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Dr. Kirti, we'll start the meditation.
Yes, definitely.
So
because a lot of cords has come up today, so let's start with the cord cutting only today.
Oh, that will be
what
great.
You say?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
all of us, I mean, not most of us, all of us have, like you said, known unknown. And since most of us have unknown cords, we don't even realize.
Yes. So today we are going to work on cutting the cords from the body. So already one heart has come here, waiting for many other hearts here. Okay, chalo. So all of you take a comfortable position. You can sit, you can lie down, you can relax, but make sure that you're not sleeping. Okay. So if you sleep, if you're into deep sleep, you will not know whether you have gone through the process or not. Okay. So just relax. Relax yourself, relax your mind, relax your soul. So you've already been working hard. You've been very harsh to your own self. This is the time to relax and chill. Keep on relaxing. In this relaxed and comfortable position, concentrate on your breaths. Feel the breaths going into your body, and when you're blowing out, release out all the stress, all the tension. It's over. It ends now. Keep on breathing. In this relaxed and comfortable position, see yourself in a garden. The garden is completely filled with greenery. Feel the grass. Feel the grass. You can listen birds singing around. Smell the garden. How soothing it is. Look around. This is your own subconscious garden. This is what you have created for your own self, your own subconscious garden, and completely private for your own self. Feel yourself there. Feel the grass, feel the birds, hear them singing. See the garden, the greenery around. Smell the roses, flowers around. You're here. Now, when you're standing there, you will see a white transparent light coming down from the top of your head onto your body, like a shower. How you take shower? So feel the white light from the top coming onto your body. And when you see the light passing through the body, inside and outside the body, you will be able to locate the cords on your body. It doesn't matter whose cords you're connected to, but this time, just feel the cords. It could be anywhere in your body. So feel the white light coming onto you, and this is a light. It's like a torchlight of the divine energy who is coming and showing you where the cords are. First thought, first impression, first feeling. And all these cords are no more serving you. Locate the cords on your body. And with your hand, okay, feel there is a hammer or a saw, whichever you're comfortable with. It is just there next to you. Look down, it is there. Pick it up. It could be a saw, it could be a hammer. Pick it up. And now cut all the cords that is there on the body. With the help of this weapon, cut it off. And as you're cutting the cords on the body, you will see it's going away with the people. If you wish, you can feel the person opposite to you whom you wish to let go at this point of time. You can cut the cord. As you cut the cord, how you see rubber band just falling apart. As you cut the cord, you will see all those people going away where they belong to. Be careful. These cords could be with the parents. These cords could be with the friends. These cords could be unwanted relatives, co-workers, family members, primary, secondary. It could be with the pets. It could be with the place. It could be anything. Just go with the flow. The white light will guide you. So once you cut the cord, you will see a purple light coming through that white light above you. And this purple light has a healing property. It will come and it will feel the wound that has been created on your body because of these cords. So once you cut the cord, the purple light will repair the wounds on the body. Allow your body to get repaired totally and completely from these cords. It's over. It ends now. So when you cut the cord, one thing keep in the mind, the contract is over. It ends now. And if something is still left, you will handle it with maturity, knowledge, and keeping the larger picture in the mind. This time you know how to handle it. Cut the cords, let it go, and allow the purple light to repair your body, to repair your mind, and to repair your soul. It's over. It ends now. Breathe. Breathe and feel that lightness in your body. Wow. It's over. Finally, I'm out with these unwanted cords. And I'm so proud of myself. I did it. So now, when you're done with the cords, allow the purple light, the violet light to heal your body, to refill the wounds with love and protection. Breathe into your body and feel the freedom in you now. You're free. I deserve and value this freedom totally and completely. And now slowly with your breaths, take back if anything you have lost during the process of connecting the cords. Maybe you lost your own self, your identity. So take back your own self, claim back. You will be coming back to your own self either in the form of light or maybe in a form of consciousness. Integrate your identity. Integrate the trust for your own self here. You are a free soul and you have right to choose. Breathe. Be thankful for your own self for going through the process. You're worthy of this freedom. I value and I respect. Moreover, I trust myself, my life, and my learnings. So now slowly bring back yourself and integrate yourself into the physical body where you are right now. Breathe into your body and here, one last time, Feel the white light above you like a shower and see, recheck while returning back. Did you bring any of the cords along with you, knowingly, unknowingly? If yes, cut the cords and let it go. If no, integrate your freedom, your identity, and your consciousness into your own body. Breathe. Keep on breathing. Integrate, integrate, integrate. Feel your back, feel your shoulder, feel top of your head, and bring back your awareness into the room right now. Integrate, 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 and open your eyes now. Take your time. Just relax.
Wow, thank you so much. This was really nice.
You're welcome.
I had one question, Dr. Kirti. So
Yes.
whenever I visualize cords or do the cord cutting, I find cords across my body, front of the body and back of my body.
Mhm.
Two questions. A, is there a difference in the cords which you find connected to people or places from the front or from your back? And secondly, I'm always able to cut the cords from the front, but behind there's always an issue of me cutting cords which are from the back of my body.
Okay. So yes, there is a difference between both. When the cords are connected from the front side of the body, those are conscious cords. And the cords that are connected from the back side of the body, they're unconscious, like unknown cords. Yeah. So maybe you were not very much interested, but the person is attached to you, and the cords have been there in the body. So it is easy for you to cut the cord from the front of the body because you're seeing it, but backside you don't see here. So what you can do, because it's an energy work, what you can feel that you're taking a bigger saw, you're putting it down and you're just cutting it off like this, going like this, and you're cutting it off in this way. So
Okay.
this will help you to overcome and let go of the cords. It may need little practice,
Mhm.
because when you're not ready to let go, that is where you will find difficult to cut the cords. Otherwise, if you feel, just you feel and the cords are over, whether it is from the behind or it's from the front. So
Okay.
first thing is you need to say to yourself is, I let go. I'm ready to let go. It is no more serving me.
Okay.
Then go into it, you will see a lot of changes and you will see it gets easier to cut the cord.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, Benaifer.
You're on mute.
Sorry. Hi. Good afternoon,
Hey,
Dr.
hi.
Kirti. Thank
Good
you so
afternoon.
much for that. That felt really good. And
welcome.
it's been I think 1.5 weeks where my daughter fell sick with a viral, and then my husband fell sick with COVID, and before that I had COVID. And everywhere I look, somehow there is a message that comes to me saying do cord cutting. And then
Wow.
I logged into this, and I logged in late, but cord cutting was happening, and I was like, okay, great, this is a God said, I'm doing it.
So you're meant for being here.
Yes.
Again, this is what is soul purpose or soul decision.
Amazing. I'm getting goosebumps as I speak. But I had a question for you. I feel like I am very intuitive. Okay, so and these days, because I've been into spirituality a lot more, and I've taken up healing and things like that. I'm into a corporate. I work at a corporate, and all of that continues that part of my life. But I feel like I somehow influence my children to fall sick in some way. So I get a chance to prove in some way that I'm there for them and I'm taking care of them. And I feel that they intuitively feel that way. So my son continues to be in that cycle of I have a cold, I can't breathe in the night properly, mummy take care of me, and my new baby's come. So he's obviously insecure about that as well. So
Yes.
I don't want to have that. So when I was doing this cord cutting, I saw both of them also, and I thought of cutting the cords with them and telling them, look, I love you unconditionally, and I'm always going to be here, but I want to cut these cords so that you are independent and feel free of, needing to fall sick, because I want you to fall sick by any chance if that's getting done. So is that wrong? If I cut cords with them, will they estrange from me or something?
Okay, how old your kids are like right now? How
My
old they are?
younger one is 1 year old. She's 15 months now. And my older one is 4.5. He'll be 5 in August.
Okay, so at this point of time, you shouldn't cut the cords. You need to have the healthy cords. So
Okay.
there is a difference between healthy and unhealthy cords. So you need to cut the unhealthy cords, and you need to keep the nourishment cords, love and nourishment cords between you and your both the kids, but
Oh.
especially with the 15-month as well, because the child is very young to understand what is happening around. And
Okay.
second thing, when your kids are falling sick, that is the only reason there is a guilt in the mother.
Yeah.
Okay, so you as a
Obviously.
mother not able to spend the time with the children that is needed. So you must be fulfilling their needs, but as a mother, you are not feeling fulfilled to be with them. So let go of the guilt from you. As a mother, you will see changes in the health of the kids, because they are extension of yours at this age. So once they cross 6 years and 12 years, that is time that they'll become independent. They will be, individual from you. So right now it's purely your guilt as a mother that you need to remove.
How do I do that, doctor? I don't, I've been doing this. I've been saying, I don't want to feel guilty anymore. I am doing the best that I can for my children. And I have always wanted to be a mother. So along with being a working person, I've always, like, as a baby also, if anyone, as a child also, anyone asked me, what do you want to do? I used to say, I want to become a mother. Like, I wanted to be a mom.
Yeah.
So
So
how do
here, yeah. So
and
here you need,
also, sorry, second question is that right now, while I was doing this, I did do some amount of cord cutting, but I saw them over there only. I kept, like,
yes,
I was not
yes,
letting go of them. I was a little scared to let go of them. So should I
yes.
be doing some kind of process again to rebuild that cord or something?
No, you don't need to do, because the reason is like, it will be automatically. So it is like auto process that will happen again. And second thing is like, when you think about how to bring back that, the connection that you always wanted to feel and let go of the guilt. The first thing, instead of saying that I don't want to feel like this, you keep on saying that I have a balance between what I am as in personality and as a mother in me. So I have a balance here. So as a person, I'm divided into so many parts, into so many roles. So I have time for each and every role. So this is my time for my professional work. This is the time for my me being as a homemaker, or this is the time when me being only a mother, and me as a wife, and me as myself. Okay? So you need to feel that I have balance between what I am doing and what I am looking forward in my life. So when you keep that, yes, when you bring the balance in your mind, you will see the difference in your life.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
One last
Uh,
question by guest M.
Yeah, can I just quickly ask,
Yes,
doctor,
yes.
while doing this particular process, cord cutting, I saw a huge black one, and I didn't know whom it was connected to, right? And on,
Oh, maybe
but
there's no.
yeah, sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So
Yes,
while
yes, I can hear.
doing this process, on the back side, just like Dipti said, I saw a lot of them, and they were all these colorful unicorn colors, right? They weren't like bad ones, but how do you cut those? So exactly like the way you said, right? Putting your hand behind and then you can cut those, right? Now, my second question is, doctor, what about these exes that you have, whom you have let go, whom you want out of your life, you don't want them anymore, but certain times you still feel there is a pull towards them and you don't have a reason. Is it that the opposite person is trying to connect the cord?
See, in the rarest case, it happens that, there could be some sort of blackness that is happening. Okay. But the thing is, like, if you believe into it, it will happen to you. If you give a space, it happened to you. So when you talk about, if the other person, about your access, the ex people in your life who are like, you left over, but there is a pull towards them, that means there's something that is unfinished. So you need to finish and complete what is there between you both, and you need to completely close the chapter. That is the point, that you're completely going to go away from your ex people. That is the only thing. And when you saw the negativity or the blackness that you felt while cutting the cord, it doesn't matter that whom you're releasing. Okay, it matters that you have let it go. So it could be anything dark thing that you're attached to, or maybe you have knowingly, unknowingly, you have been the cord. There's a cord with the blackness, the darkness. So what matters is, if the cord is from the front side of the body, it was a conscious attachment, but it was from the behind, that it could be, by some unknown sources in your life.
Doctor, the front one, which was like a huge pipe kind of thing, right? Even when I cut it, I feel like it's wanting to come back again and again and again. Can I just shield myself over there in terms of some very hard material or something? Because I feel it's wanting to come back. And, I always have a heavy tummy, in the way my solar plexus is always under pressure.
Yeah, so what you can do here is the violet light that has been created, that is there for to shield and close the portals. So when the portals are closed, no one can enter you. So it's like when you have closed the door and the windows, no one can enter your house. In the same way, you have to shield yourself with this light. You cannot shield yourself with some material or metals and all. So better to shield yourself with the violet light or white light, whichever you feel comfortable with, and close the portals of the body. So it won't enter you again.
Okay, and one last question. When in terms of excess, you said one, I'm not in touch with the person, but I feel there is that person, so I'm trying to forget the person. I've forgotten the person, forgiven, understood the lesson, why it was, but there is still sometimes it pops up, even when I don't want to think about the person.
So there's something unfinished, maybe something unspoken, unfinished, undone, maybe not done or completed properly.
So, while cord cutting, I have cut from my side and I've given the explanations and done. So I've sent that person. Now, is it that the person wants to talk to me or something?
No, it is always you. It is always and always you and your learnings. So no one has power unless and until you give them or you allow them. Keep that one thing in mind. The power always belongs to you. So once you give away the power, the person will be in your space. So it is not, it is nowhere about the other person. It is always about you. So let go. Okay. Again, keep on cutting the cord.
Sure. Thank you.
Doctor, one last question. Like someone, Veena is asking if she can cut cords for two different people amongst themselves. So not with herself, but cutting cord between person A and person B.
See, that it could be sometime karmic, so it's better not to enter somebody's place if, unless and until, like close relationship, like it's your son or husband or parents, and you feel that, something really negative going around. So I will always say not to enter the space, because soul will know when to cut the cord if it is needed. How many people in the group have already told that it was, just they came and it was the topic that needed. So your soul will know when to do that. So it's always better not to enter into somebody's life unless and until the person is asking for the help. If they've asked for the help, they are not able to overcome. So make them sit and do that. It's always better than you doing for themselves.
Doctor, I have a question that while you were asking us to focus on the cords, so I had a little bit of difficulty to focus and concentrate and to locate where the cords are. So what to do on that?
Keep on repeating it. Keep on repeating it. So when you keep on repeating, your body will be ready. So sometimes subconscious mind is not ready to go and go through the process suddenly. Okay. So when you keep on repeating, your subconscious mind will feel safe. And when the subconscious mind is feeling safe, it will allow you to understand and locate the cords and cut it off.
Okay. Thank you, doctor.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you so much to everybody for being here, and thank you to Dr. Kirti. We'll catch up again on Monday at 9 p.m. So see you then. And I've put up the details of the Inner Child Healing Program on the chat. In case anybody wants to register or wants more details, just ping me on WhatsApp. Thank you so much and have a great weekend.
Deepti, a question here to Dr. Kirti.
Yeah.
When you say the detailed inner child healing, the timetable that you have put on, the process be different from this? Like it will be a different.
See, the process will be definitely different from this, but it could be similar. The second thing is here we are going to raise one single topic, one single process, and it's like completely integrating your own self from those. See, basically people go through 7 different emotions in the life, and they are always repeating those emotions throughout the life. So here will be, it's like uncovering your own self from the shield that you wore and that is not needed. So it is going to be more intense than what we are doing right now.
Yeah, and I think, Veena, the advantage of that program is that, so these are 7 emotions, like she said, which all of us face. So across 7 days, one day after the other, it will be, unlayering one by one, so that by the end of the 7 days, we are taken off all those 7 layers of emotions, which all of us, especially guilt, I think is something that keeps coming up. So it will be much more in depth.
Yeah, my question is it okay to do every day? I mean, the day after the day. I mean, it's quite intense topics that doctor is covering. So is it okay to take it every day up to 7 days?
Yes. It is completely fine to go through that. Yeah.
And this will be how long each session?
30 minutes we are expecting, but it could be, more than 30 minutes.
Okay.
So we have a time limit of 30 minutes here, but we are not bonding completely into the time. So it couldn't go to 1 hour maybe.
So anywhere from 30 to, I would say, 45 minutes is what we're doing. And so these will not be put up on YouTube channel. These would be recorded and it will be given to the participants if they want to repeat the meditation process, or in case for any reason you miss a particular day. So we'll give access to these recordings for the next 1 week to 10 days for you to repeat it or do it again.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
So thank you so much and see you everybody on Monday. Bye.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye all of you.
Bye everyone. Thank you so much.